Is there anyone else whose name I did not call? Please stand. I mean number, not name. All right. Thank you guys so much again for being here. We could do without you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have some additional questions to ask in your qualifications. Is any member of the jury panel not a citizen of the United States? If you're not a U.S. citizen, please stand. If you're not a citizen and resident of Colleton County, please stand. If you do not live in Colleton County. If you cannot read, write, speak, or understand the English language, please stand. If you have less than a sixth grade education or its equivalent, please stand. If you have any physical or mental problems that you think would prevent you from serving on jury duty, if you do, please stand. If you have any physical or mental problems that you think would prevent you from serving on the jury. And a number of people indicated that they were on disability or disabled. If any juror is unable to serve on jury duty because of any disability, please stand. So, do you believe you're able to serve or not serve?
Not serve.
All right, and your juror number, sir? All right, sir, juror number 536 is excused. Thank you, and you may go. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Having trouble hearing? And how, whether a person is close or far away, you still have trouble hearing?
Yes, sir. I can't understand.
All right, and your juror number is?
562.
562. Any objection to this juror being excused?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you, sir. You may go. Has any member of the jury panel been convicted or found guilty of a crime for which you could have received more than 1 year in jail at any point in time in your lifetime, regardless of the sentence, and your civil rights have not been restored by pardon or amnesty? If you have a criminal record, such a criminal record, it must be brought to my attention because you're not qualified to serve. If that applies to any of you, please stand. All right. Yes, sir. Tell me your jury number.
621.
621? 41? And what offense were you convicted of? Say it again? This jury number is 641. Okay, thank you, sir. You're excused. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
I was convicted of 2 misdemeanors, one in Dorchester County, one in Berkeley County.
And what were the offenses?
Malicious damage to personal property and shoplifting.
Are those offenses, pardon?
Juror number?
Your juror number?
571.
Pardon?
571.
571? Is she on a list of some sort?
She is not, Your Honor. We're verifying.
All right. Okay, ma'am, we'll verify the level of offense. Some malicious injuries are less than 1 year, most of them are. Shoplifting is 30 days.
It was 30 days, yes, Your Honor. It was pay a fine or serve time of 30 days.
Yeah. All right, we'll confirm the offense, but it appears that you are qualified to serve.
We had both that she mentioned, but again, those are not DQs, Your
All
Honor.
right. Thank you, ma'am. That does not disqualify you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. Is any member of the jury panel a clerk, a deputy clerk, a constable, a commissioned law enforcement officer, a county officer, or employed within the walls of any courthouse? If so, please stand. If you have previously served on jury duty in the circuit court within the past calendar year of 2022 or 2023, if so, please stand. If you served as a, yes, sir.
I served as a juror about 4, 5, 6 months ago right in here.
All right, tell us your juror number.
559.
559. All right, she'll pull you up on the computer and we'll confirm it in a second. Thank you. Has any member of the jury panel served as a member of the grand jury of this county within the last several years? If so, please stand. We now move to juror juror exemptions. There are numerous exemptions to jury service. An exemption means you may choose not to serve. First exemption is for those of you who may be 65 years of age or older and who wishes to be exempted. If you're 65 years of age or older and you would like to be excused, please stand. Another exemption concerns prior jury service. No person is required to serve more often than once every 3 calendar years. So if you have served within the last 3 calendar years here in this court, circuit court, and you wish to be exempted, please stand. Yes, sir. Juror number? 451. One more time.
451.
Yes, sir. When did you serve?
Like a year or 2 ago. I was just in a grade like
You're what?
this. In a grade like this.
All right. We'll confirm that and get back to you in a moment. If you served as a member of the grand jury of this county within the last 5 years and you wish to be exempted, please stand. The next exemption deals with those of you who may have small children under the age of 7 and no one to care for them while serving on jury duty, and you therefore would like to be exempted from service based on having small children or small child under the age of 7. If that applies to any of you, please stand. And tell me your juror number, please.
459.
And what is your situation?
My daughter goes to school about an hour away where I work. My husband works very late at night on call. I have nobody else to get her.
And your child's age is?
2.
Thank you, you are exempted. Yes, ma'am.
My number is 496, and I work in Bainbridge County, and my daughter goes to Bainbridge Elementary School.
And what is her age?
She is 6.
That qualifies you for an exemption. Thank you very much, and you are exempted. Thank you, said 496. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. This exemption applies to children under the age of 7. Thank you. The next exemption deals with those of you who may be attending school or working in some capacity with a school. A student, teacher, crossing guard, or other school employee, you have a school-related conflict, and you wish to be transferred to another time when you do not have a school-related conflict. If so, please stand. Tell me a jury number, please. All right, let's see. 6:15, I got that. All right. And when will you be available to serve? When will you be available to serve? In the summer? Okay, we'll transfer you to a summer month, number 615. Thank you. Yes. 513, yes. All right, we'll transfer 513 to a summer month. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. And when would you be available to serve? And say that juror number one more time. 625. You be transferred to a summer month. Thank you. If you're employed at the Department of Corrections and you would like to be exempted, please stand. If you perform services for a business, commercial, or agricultural enterprise, and the services that you perform are so essential to the operation of the business or enterprise that it would have to close or stop functioning if you were required to be here and you would like to be exempted. If so, please stand. Yes, sir. Juror number?
455.
Yes, sir.
I work for a very small company. I perform all the payroll taxes, pay sales taxes, file taxes, perform all of the benefits transactions, and there's no one else trained for the
And you said a small company. How small is that company?
less than 30 employees.
Less than 3 employees?
Less than 30.
That does not qualify under this exemption. Yes, sir.
555, I've got 12 stores that I take care of all the HVAC refrigeration, at all locations around the clock.
And you're employed by,
Parkers,
that does not qualify for this exemption. Yes.
465.
Yes.
My instructor, I am the only instructor of the driving school, so I'm not there either. There's no
What driving school is that?
Brian Pitt driving school here in Walterboro.
Is that your driving school?
Yes, sir.
465?
Yes, sir.
You're exempt under the statute. You may go. If you're the primary caretaker of someone who is elderly or incapacitated, and you would like to be exempted to care for someone who is elderly or incapacitated. If so, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the statutory list of qualifications and exemptions for jury service. It may be that you're qualified and not entitled to an exemption, but that jury service this week would impose a hardship upon you. I cannot permanently excuse a juror who is qualified and not entitled to an exemption, but I can transfer you to another time if this week poses a hardship. If that applies to any of you, please stand.
Your Honor, not with regard to that exemption, but in the earlier exemptions for serving for a certain court, I failed to realize that a summon is the same as serving on the jury. I was summoned in March of 2022.
All right, and your juror number is?
455.
455. We'll have a clerk pull that. Have you all confirmed any of those other numbers yet? Which ones? Okay, number 559 served recently and you are excused. 559, 451 served recently and you're excused as well, thank you. And 455 served? Yes, sir. You've served recently and you may go. And the question again is that if service this week or this case is expected to go 3 weeks or so, if service during this term of court poses a hardship to any of you and you wish to be transferred to another time because it will pose an extreme hardship upon you, if so, please stand. Tell me your jury number.
487.
487. Tell me about it.
I am about to start a new position on the 6th of February.
And when would you want to come back?
It's a whole year round job, it's not like
Yeah, I understand.
period of time. So you ever need,
Well, yeah, everyone, most of the folks out there are employed, so that's not the issue. If this week poses an extreme hardship upon you, when will you be available to return for jury duty? During the summer month?
yeah,
All right, we'll transfer you to a summer month, number 487. Thank you. Yes.
You asked earlier about the disability. You said that this might go for about 3 weeks.
Yes.
Friday, I'm going to have shocks in my spine.
All right, and you'd like to be transferred to another time?
Yes, sir.
All right, juror number 554 will be transferred to come back at another time. Thank you, and you may go. Yes.
556. And it's my appointment.
Number 576. Tell me about it again.
My appointment.
What about it?
As a CNA. Going back to school.
And what is the problem?
I will give time to come here for 3 weeks.
All right, economic? You want, I mean, you won't have your job, or? All right, we'll excuse you based on what you've said. Transfer her to a later time in the year. Anyone else? If you did not respond to any questions. Yes, sir.
484, got an ulcer on my skin that has to be bandaged once a week. Friday is my next appointment for that. I would love to serve, but if I can't go to the doctor's appointment, I can't take bandage all day.
You wish to be transferred or reschedule your appointment?
I guess transfer, because I go once a week until that ulcer is healed.
All right, juror number 484 will be transferred. Yes, sir. If you do not respond to any questions that I've asked up to this point because you're too hesitant to respond, you must give complete and truthful responses to all questions. If you do not respond to any questions that under your oath you're required to respond to, please stand. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll move now to questions more specific to this case. As I stated, Mr. Murdaugh is charged with murdering his wife, Maggie Murdaugh, and son, Paul Murdaugh, on June 7, 2021, outside their home at 4147 Moselle Road, Arlington, South Carolina. Has any member of the jury panel read, heard, or know anything about this case or about Mr. Murdaugh? If so, please stand. And I would like for you to give me your juror number only, and then you may be seated. Starting here, the lady in black. And remove your mask so we can hear you.
580.
All right, thank you.
509.
And after you give me the information, you may be seated. 509?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
470. 522.
476.
6, just a moment. Just one moment. We're going in an order. The next in order is a gentleman, on the row with the, what kind of color shirt is that, plaid? Yes, sir, you. No, just a moment. The one that everyone's pointing to, you, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
556.
All right. No, 556 is behind you. Come on.
That's right.
It's in front, yeah, right. 669, thank you. 651. 515. Yes, sir. 575. You may be seated, and you're going front to back, not mixed in. Yes, sir. 658. Yes. 495. Yes. 601. Thank you. 674. Thank you. The guy in the blue shirt. Yes. Yes. Just a moment. The guy in the blue shirt with the mask. If you're pulling the mask down.
556.
556. Thank you. Yes, sir.
668.
668. Thank you.
609.
609.
568.
568.
557.
557.
471.
471. 655. 548. 508. And on this side from the
588.
588. 555. 573.
571.
571.
650.
650. 545.
482.
482. 589. 533. 593. 583. 596. 524. 528. 65. 564. 595. 567. 667. 558.
612.
What's it say? 612. 663. 463. 640. 648. 585. 630. 595. 670. 530. 518. 582. All right, thank you. If you did not stand to the previous question, meaning that you have not read, heard, or know anything about this case, if you have not read, heard, or know anything about this case, please stand. And give me your juror numbers in like fashion. Yes, sir. 460. All right, you may be seated. 578. 654. Front row, lead row. Pardon? Thank you. 644. 474. 572. 534. 544. 5:50. All right, thank you. Now I need to know the source of the information that you have received concerning this case. For those of you who have indicated that you've either read, heard, or know something about this case, I need to know the source of the information that you've received, either through a news article, podcast, TV show, TV, radio, personal conversations with other people. I need to know the source of your information, starting again on this side, for those of you who know or have heard something about the case. If you can all stand again on this side first and tell me the source of your information, starting from the rows and then going back. Yes, ma'am.
News, internet, and conversation.
All right, tell me your juror numbers and then that information.
580.
All right, thank you.
509, Facebook, local news, television, radios, personal conversations.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
470, social media, news, office calls.
All right, thank you. Yes, sir, in the black. All right, thank you. And behind him?
658, internet news stories.
All right, thank you.
515, just talking to people in the news.
All right, thank you.
61, talking to people in Facebook headlines.
All right, thank you.
669, my wife.
All right, thank you. This man in the gold.
522, national news. As Kim was listening to the podcast, I heard that they're along the way. And Apple News on home, and then just looked.
All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
556, local news.
Thank you.
476, Facebook, talking to people, local news.
674, social media, personal conversation.
All right.
601, Post and Courier. My wife used to teach at Wayne Hampton High School, Kids News.
All right, thank you.
495, friends and family, passing by the TV, listening to the news, social media, articles.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am, black.
471, internet and news.
Okay,
557, and the local news.
thank you.
568, New York Magazine and the Herald.
609, local television from Charleston.
News.
668, local news, internet, talking to friends, and other members of the community.
All right, thank you.
Local news, YouTube shows, Dateline, that's it.
And juror number as well?
655.
Thank you.
548, local news.
508, all of the above.
All right, thank you. We'll move to this side. If you all stand and provide the same information, starting with Jim.
588, radio.
555, pretty much every news outlet, YouTube, podcast. I live in the area, talking to locals.
All right, thank you.
573, podcast, word of mouth.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
571, rumors and news article and a documentary.
All right, thank you. Next to, yes, ma'am.
650, social media, podcast, word of mouth.
All right, thank you.
545, national news, local news, talking with friends.
All right, thank you.
482, local news.
Local news, newspaper.
All right,
533, local news.
593, all of the above.
all right,
583, television, local news.
all right, thank you.
596, podcast.
local news, social media, and
605, Facebook, local news, and word of mouth.
564, local news, social media, word of mouth.
599, social media and family.
567, Wi-Fi. Yes, ma'am.
667, local news, national news, newspaper, internet.
558, local news, social media, talking to people.
612, local news and personal conversation.
663, local news.
463, personal conversation, social media, and local news.
648, news and gossip.
585, social media, local news, and personal conversations. 630, news and social media.
595, local news, national news, Facebook, internet.
670, local news, media.
530, internet conversation.
518, national public radio news. 582, local newspaper, social media, and gossip.
All right, for those of you who have heard, read, or stated others, or have talked with others about it, have you formed an opinion as to the guilt or innocence of the defendant regarding the murder charges? If you have formed an opinion as to guilt or innocence of the defendant, please stand. And we'll take the juror numbers of those of you who have formed an opinion as to the guilt or the innocence of the defendant. 580, 509,
515.
515,
655.
555. 573. 545.
593.
605, 667, 558,
463.
648.
585.
670.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the law and practice requires that jurors decide cases based on the evidence presented during the course of a trial and the law as explained to you by the court. No matter what you may have heard or seen or what opinions that you may have formed, the question I have for you is that whether or not you can put all that aside and decide this case only on the evidence you receive in court, followed by the law, and decide the case in a fair and impartial manner. If you can do that, please stand. All right. Pardon? Yeah. If you can decide the case based on the law and the evidence as presented in court, regardless of what you previously heard, please stand. If you can decide the case based on the law and the evidence. As to those of you who have previously formed an opinion, as it relates to those of you who previously formed an opinion, the same folks who were standing as to the last question, who have indicated that they have formed an opinion, if all those folks would stand again, who have previously formed an opinion. All right, this question is directed to all of you who have formed an opinion. As it relates to you all, if aside from the opinion that you've formed, can you put aside all of that and decide the case solely based on the law and the evidence presented in court. If you can do that, remain standing. If you cannot, please be seated. All right. From the jurors who remain standing, who indicate that they can decide the case on a fair and impartial basis despite what they previously thought or may currently be thinking, those jurors are juror number 522, 515, 585. I thank you all. Now, those jurors who, you may be seated, those jurors who have a fixed opinion that will not change or cannot change based on what is presented in court, please stand again and give me those juror numbers. Yes. 580.
509.
509.
476.
476. 471. 655. 555. 573. 545. 593. 605. 667. 558.
463,
463.
648,
648. 670. Are there any objections to those jurors being excused? You wrote down that last list.
None for the defendant, Your Honor. No.
You wrote down who they are. And ladies and gentlemen, let's stand and stretch for a moment as we're standing and stretching for a moment. What's she giving to them? Y'all didn't give that to them yesterday? Y'all didn't give that to them yesterday? I said, you didn't give them to the lawyers yesterday. Why wouldn't I? That's what I should give them yesterday. Be seated. I mean, sit. Yeah. What says the state?
Your Honor, no objection.
All right. The jurors, those jurors will be excused. They're confirmed the list that I'm with what you all have noted. Juror number 580. Number 580, number 509. If you all will stand, number 580. You're excused? Yes, you may leave. 509?
This is 580, I'm 509.
Yes, good, thank you. 476? 471? Let's see, two folks, just a moment. What is your number?
571.
And you're 476?
You said 471?
No, I said 476 and 471.
Oh, I think it's 5, I apologize.
471. 655. 555. 573. 545. 593. 605. 667. 558. 463. 648. And 670. The next question, were you or any family member of yours or significant other related by blood or marriage or social acquaintance with the victims Margaret Maggie Murdaugh and Paul Murdaugh? If you're related by blood or some significant other is related by blood, marriage, or social acquaintance with them, either or any of them, please stand. And tell me your juror number
583.
and your acquaintance.
We're related down the line.
You related to,
We're related. I'm down the line. Blood.
and you related to Miss Murdaugh, Mr. Murdaugh, all right, with the defendant Alex Murdaugh and his son. And what degree of relationship? You said down the line?
Yes, sir. I was just told we were related down the line.
All right. And would that affect your ability to be fair and impartial?
Possibility,
Sir?
Yes, sir.
It would. And your juror number is 583. Any objection to him being excused?
None from the state, Your Honor.
No, I think we'd like further inquiry.
All right, if you'll stay with us for a bit, Mr. 583. Yes, sir.
582, we're about seventh grade cousins to Mr. Alex Murdaugh.
And would that affect your ability to be fair and impartial?
So, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
585. And I'm married to this man, and I just heard that they were just related.
And would that affect your ability to be fair and impartial? Thank you. If you are personally acquainted with Mr. Richard Alexander Murdaugh, related to him, have any type relationship with him currently or in the past? If so, please stand. Yes, sir. Juror number.
668.
Yes, sir.
Can I approach Your Honor?
Yes, sir. We'll have you approach at the end of the process. Thank you. In relation, and thank you, sir, any other jurors who wish to approach and make any statement outside the presence of everyone else, that is certainly fine. Now moving a step backwards to the lawyers involved. Both sides are represented by counsel, and I'd like for them to introduce themselves at this time.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Creighton Waters. I'm from the Attorney General's office in Columbia, and I will be the lead prosecutor in the case against Alex Murdaugh. With me is some other prosecutors, Savannah Gowd, right here. Next to her is Johnny James. Next to Johnny is Don Zelenka. That's David Fernandez right there. John Conrad is right there, and then finally John Metters in the back. Thank you.
Please report, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'm Dick Harpooty, and I'm a member of a much smaller team representing Mr. Murdaugh. This is Jim Griffin, who has his own practice in Columbia. We're working together on this case. Phil Barber, who's not here this morning, and Margaret Fox, who is with Jim's office. We will be representing Mr. Murdaugh here in proceedings. Thank you.
If you've ever been represented by any of the lawyers or sued by any of the lawyers involved, or if you have any acquaintance with any of the lawyers involved or any members of their respective law firms or agency, if so, please stand. All right. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure if this is 585. I don't know if this is answering the question, but my husband's uncle used to work for the same law firm.
Which law firm is that?
PNP.
All right. You haven't gotten asking about that firm, but you can tell us while you're telling us your.
My husband's uncle used to work for the same.
And what is your husband's uncle? He's a lawyer?
Yes.
And what is his name?
My husband's uncle.
Yes.
Stephen.
All right. All right. Thank you. Yes, sir.
583. I had, when it went to Peter Parker, I had a lawsuit for him back in 04.
All right. Thank you. And would that affect your ability to be fair and impartial? All right. Are you or any member of your immediate family or significant other employed with or ever been employed by the Colleton County Sheriff's Department, the State Law Enforcement Division, commonly known as SLED, the Solicitor's Office for the 14th Circuit, or the Attorney General's Office of the State of South Carolina? If so, please stand. All right. Yes, sir. Jury number?
530.
And the reason you're standing?
My brother works for the Colleton County Sheriff's Department.
He's a current employee?
Yes.
And what type of work does he do? All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
Sir, 09. My brother is also a deputy for the Colleton County Sheriff's Department.
For the Colleton County Sheriff's Department? All right, thank you. Yes.
585. My husband's uncle works for the sheriff's department.
Your husband's uncle, the same uncle or another uncle? Okay. All right. All right, thank you. And ma'am, would that affect your ability to be fair and impartial?
Yes.
It would affect your ability to be fair and impartial? Any objection to this juror being excused?
Further inquiry, please.
All right, we'll speak further with you, ma'am. Are you or any member of your immediate family or significant others employed with or have ever been employed with the law firm of Peters, Murdaugh, Parker, Ellsworth, Dietrich, or the Parker Law Group? Ever been employed by or represented by the law firm or law group? If so, please stand. All right, yes, ma'am, 585? And tell me about it.
Because his uncle is a lawyer at the
All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
601, my company installed the HVAC equipment at the Peters office here in Walpole.
All right, and would that affect your ability to be fair and impartial as a juror? All right, thank you. If you have ever attended any functions, any events, parties, hunts, giveaways, raffles, gatherings, or any related activity hosted by the law firm Peters, Murdaugh, Parker, Ellsworth, Dietrich, or Alex Murdaugh, or any member of his family? If so, please stand. All right, and 668, all right, and the basis for your standing.
I was in law for 21 years, and over that 21 years, many times, we did a lot of stuff with guys.
All right, thank you.
583, I went to a Christmas party they had one year for their office. I was dating a girl that worked there.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? If you have any personal or professional relationship with Mr. Murdaugh or his family, if so, please stand. If you have a personal or professional relationship with him now or previously. All right, no one is standing. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have any religious belief or related or other belief that will prevent you from being a fair and impartial juror in determining the guilt or innocence of the defendant, please stand. If you are prevented by any religious or other type beliefs from being a fair and impartial juror. No one is standing. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a long list of witnesses that I have to call out and announce. And at the end of the process, I will need to know if you know any of these potential witnesses, if you have any business, personal, or any other acquaintance or relationship with them. And if any of the witnesses are here, I would like for you to stand. Daniel Green from the Colleton County Sheriff's Office, Chad McDowell from the Colleton County Sheriff's Office, William Cody Pruitt, Sheriff's Office, Denise Brenson Smith, Hampton County Dispatcher, Angela Stallings, Colleton County Dispatcher, Dathan Varnado with the Sheriff's Office, with Fire and Rescue, Charlie Jones, Barry McCoy, Laura Rutland with the Sheriff's Office, from SLED, Melinda Worley, Thomas Darnell, Rachel Wynn, Paul Greer, Madison Willis, Julia Begeman, Olivia Cartwright, Rachel Noel Johnson, Christine Dadabo, Norris Lafitte, from SLED, Jeff Croft, Katie McAllister, Claude C.B. Rowe, Roger Dale Davis, Michelle Shelley Smith, from SLED, Kristen Moore, Jennifer Nates, Belinda Rast, Maylin Haynes, Barbara Mixon, from SLED, Sarah Zapata, Kukila Kiki Wallace, Megan Fletcher, Britt Dove from SLED, from the U.S. Secret Service, Jonathan Van Houten, from the Charleston County Sheriff's Office, Paul McManicle, from SLED, Rebecca Gregg, Bobby Bancroft, Brian Dudick, Todd Schenk, Dylan Hightower from the 14th Circuit Solicitor's Office, Tom Bevel, John Bedingfield, Nathan Tootin, Nolan Tootin, Willis Chapman, Marion Proctor, Chris Wilson, Attorney Chris Wilson, Attorney Lee Koch, Attorney Mark Tinsley, Carson Burney from the Attorney General's Office, Michael Gunn, Johnny Parker, Attorney Jan Melanowski, Karen Sauls, Eric Harriet, Ryan Kelly from SLED, from Hampton County EMS, and formerly of the EMS, Andrew Farmer, Charles Long, Curtis Eddie Smith, Attorney Mark Ball, Attorney Ronnie Crosby, Attorney Danny Henderson, Matt Wright from SLED, custodian of records from Savannah Memorial Hospital, registered nurse from there at Savannah Memorial, Jessica Dunovan. From SLED, Tommy Robinson, Joshua Durks, Duerkp, Lynn Black, Kenneth Martin, BGA, Sidney Freeman, Hunter Wilson, Bailey Wilson, Anthony Russell from the Sheriff's Office, Lynn Black from SLED, Blanca Turibiet Simpson, Kenny Hughes, Rogan Gibson, Will Loving, Bart Proctor, Randy Murdaugh, attorney, Jenny Seckinger, Annette Griswold from SLED, Paul Radowski, Alfred Johnson from JLA Investigations, David Grubbs from the Attorney General's Office, Demi Harvin from the Forensic Science Network, Kenny Kinsey from the Orangeburg County Sheriff's Department, from SLED, David Owens, Charles Gent, Ryan O'Neill, Courtney Adams, Jamar Al-Bayaldi, Oswald Toledo from the Attorney General's Office, Jason Chapman from the Sheriff's Office, Greg Cook, Alice Hazel, CPA, Mitchell Altman from SLED, Mark Altman, IT, PSB, Stephen Bechtel from SLED, Attorney Eric Bland, Matt Brown from SLED, Frank Chapman, Charles Chapman, Delilah Cerencion from SLED, Timothy Collins Sr. from SLED, John Conley from the Highway Patrol, Tyrone Corbin from Varnville Fire Department, Keith Kirby from the Sheriff's Office, Gary Davis, Mary Ann Dempsey, Richard Dixon, Morgan Dowdy. From the Sheriff's Office, Richard Haley, Nancy Drawdy, David Drawdy, Deputy Coroner, Donna Eason, Ashlyn Gant, Hallie Godley from SLED, Virginia Hadwin, Jamie Hall from SLED, Scott Harriet, Richard Harvey from the Sheriff's Office, Laura Hash from SLED, Bailey Haynes from SLED, Michael Hazel, William Hedden, Adrienne Hefney from SLED, Gray Lafitte, Henderson, Kendrell Henderson from the Hampton County Sheriff's Office, Marcus Hayward from SLED, Guri Buddy Hill from the Sheriff's Office, Tommy Hines from SLED, Jonathan Hallbrook from SLED, Graham Holmes, Chandler Horney from SLED, Stephen Hudson, Jennifer Hunton from SLED, William Hutto, Jessia James from the Highway Patrol, Christy Gerald, Hannah Jefferson from SLED, Blake Johnson from SLED, Brian Jones from SLED, Pat Keegan from SLED, Tommy Kennard, Tanya King, Wayne Kirby III from SLED, Richard Neese Jr., Mark Labrici from the FBI, Henry Lafitte, Attorney Rebecca Lafitte, Paula Rosa from SLED, Stacy Lodeholt from the Sheriff's Office, David Long from the Sheriff's Office, Elizabeth Lafitte Melanowski, Vera Martinez from SLED, Linda McElhaney, William McElveen, Lee McGinnis, Jacqueline McKay from SLED, Haley Moody, John Nelson from SLED, Haley Nelson from SLED, John Peters, William Pope from the Sheriff's Office, Captain Samuel Wrigley from SLED, Kesap Patel, Emily Reinhardt from SLED, Dr. Ellen Reimer, MUSC pathologist, George Riox from the Sheriff's Office, Major Tommy Robertson from SLED, Diane Rowe, Walter Salisbury, Anthony Sampson from SLED, Christopher Serene from the Fire and Rescue, Michael Tony Satterfield, Jeremy Smith from SLED, Khalees Smoke, James Talon III from SLED, Dana Temple from SLED, Courtney Thompson, Chelsea Townsend from DHAC, Philip Turner, SLED, Dr. Luis Vega, Russell Vernali from SLED, Tammy Weber, Glenn Weckler, Chad Westendorf, Samuel White from the Hampton County Sheriff's Office, Lawrence Wiggins, formerly of SLED, Matt Wild from the FBI, David Williams from SLED, Matthew Williams from Fire and Rescue, Madison Willis from SLED, some from Savannah Memorial Hospital, the following doctors' employees: William Bromberg, Caitlin Bowman, Dr. Carrie Jeter, Alice Dion, Doctors Brandon Runyon, Brenna Casey, James Mitchell, Brittany Matthews. From SLED, Lisa Chapman, Bailey Morgan, Margaret Pauley, Haley Fiorucci, Jennifer Hutton, also from SLED, Lonnie Nelson from the Sheriff's Office, David Weaver from SLED, Al Jarvis from SLED, Christopher Anderson, Arthur Badger, Johnny Bush, James Drawdy, Angel Gary, Jordan Jenks, Damian Risher, Elise Taylor Mallory, Dion Martin, Thomas Moore, Pamela Pinckney, Natasha Thomas, Buster Murdaugh, John Marvin Murdaugh, Liz Murdaugh, Kennedy Brandstetter, Terry Brandstetter, Marion Brandstetter, Russell Lafitte, Jay McGill, John Dingle, Scott O'Quinn, Charles Lafitte II and Lafitte III, Harold Trey Matheson III, Megan Kimbrell, Terry Haynes, Kenya Trinhern, Attorney Amy Bauer, Stephanie Stanley of SLED, Dr. Robin Cotton, Dr. Jonathan Eisenstadt, pathologist, crime scene analysis, Tim Palmbach, Michael Sutton, Kenneth Searcy, crime scene reconstruction, Jim Persinger, computer forensics, Chip Johnson, computer forensics, William Tobin, GSR and ballistics, Michael Sturgis, Cellbrite digital evidence, Dr. Amy Brodeur, Lynn Murdaugh, Goetti, Dr. Donna Swartzwart Maddox, psychologist, Eric Robinson, Kayla Robinson, and Philip Strother.
Number 39.
What about it?
I don't know if that one was read.
Dwight Falkowski from the FBI. I think I read that already.
My apologies.
If you know any of those people, you have any friends, relatives, association with any of them, if so, please stand and tell me about it. All right. Yes, sir. The gentleman in the black, your juror number and tell me. They're what?
Vehicles.
Right, 30 seconds. They are,
On Chatham, McDowell, and Bonnet.
or what?
Deputy sheriff. I used to own retail in Bonnet.
All right. Okay, we're missing what you're saying about them. Say it a little louder.
I know them, I used to detail the vehicles.
Detail the vehicles. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, sir.
This is Clay Hills. I used to hang out with one of his daughters down there.
Your number.
651.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
601, I've installed HVAC equipment for 8 of those people.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
522, I don't personally know Buster, but my children and niece and nephews do.
All right, thank you.
668, do law enforcement on several of deputies, fire rescue, and state agents.
Thank you.
609, I know Scott O'Quinn, he's my first cousin, he's with the fire department.
Thank you.
650, unfortunately, no current citizen.
All right, thank you.
I used to cook for most of them. We were at the jailhouse.
All right, thank you.
583, I know Eddie Smith, and I know a couple of deputies.
All right, thank you.
533, I know some of the deputies.
Thank you.
589, a couple of deputies were my customers. I shoot 589 to shoot pictures of deputies.
Thank you. Yes.
528, I sold a truck to Mr. Lincoln.
All right, thank you.
564, know numerous law enforcement guys and some of the other witnesses, customers through the
Thank you.
599, Mark Hall is very close to my husband and his family, and they all hunt together and do a lot of work for them on properties.
Thank you.
612, several deputies, and I know personally, Kurt Isman.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
582, I'm related to all the Murdaughs in that list, and Curtis Smith is actually my second cousin.
All right, thank you.
530, Chad McDowell, he's my brother.
What, brother?
Yes.
And should he be a witness, would that affect your ability to be fair and impartial? All right, thank you.
585, William Cole, cousin's uncle. But he owns a big friend, and we
All right, thank you. Having asked all the questions that I've asked, if you know of any reason why you cannot serve as a fair and impartial juror, or as why you should not be selected to serve, please stand. All right, and tell me your juror number. All right, we'll ask you about it in a few minutes, number 599. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Juror number? 635. We'll ask you about it in a few minutes. So you got a list of people I'm going to talk to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the list of questions and information we're seeking to get from you. There are a number of jurors we're going to talk with further. Becky, tell me again the message for the jurors. From the jurors I'm going to ask to remain, we're going to excuse you all to come back at 11 tomorrow morning. You are the fourth jury panel, and from all these panels condensed into one panel, we're going to get a list of prospective jurors from which to choose our jury in this case. The intent is to choose 18 jurors, 12 regular jurors, and 6 alternates. The jurors that we need to stay with us are the following jurors, if you all will stand at this time. Number 515, number 522, number 585, number 583, number 668, number 599, number 635. Are there any additional jurors the state or the defense would like further questioning?
Your Honor, I had marked 612.
Number 612.
I had marked 571.
Number 571.
And 460, Your Honor.
Number 460.
You're on number 530
And number 530.
and 609
Number 609.
and 585.
585 is standing now.
Oh, I'm sorry. And Your Honor, off the questionnaire, 495.
Number 495.
Yes, sir. 522.
Number 522, who's already standing.
Thank you. 599.
599, who's already standing.
Great. I apologize. 601.
Number 601. 601. Who's 601? All right.
And Your Honor, there are, there's one that's cut off at the top. I can't read the name of the person.
2 pages. What's on the other page? Did they sign the first page?
I mean, they signed it at the top, the copy. I'm sure it's on the original. The judge has the original.
This the original? Yeah. Madam Clerk, do you have the original? Do you have the original of these papers, of the questionnaires? There has to be an original. Where is it? Ms. Hill. Ms. Hill. Where's the original? Do you know who the person is that you handed it? Ladies and gentlemen, except for the jurors whose names I've called, do you have another?
Yes, sir. We have 582 and 654, please, Your Honor.
654,
582.
654, all right, and
582.
and 582. 582. All right, I need you all to remain. All the other jurors are to return at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. So you all are excused till 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Please be sure to be here at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. That'll be an original. Or come back individually as the clerk calls your names, and we'll otherwise be in recess as we address these jurors.